So you moved to Taiwan from Saskatoon. That's quite a sea
Yeah,
change. What drew you to Taiwan?
I would love to say it's some deep spiritual and significant reason, but my roommate in college told me Taiwan was fun. And I said I like fun. So I just literally 3 weeks after she told me that, I was in Taiwan. I bought a plane ticket, skipped my university graduation, and just came straight here and just kind of dove right in.
And was she right? Is it fun?
It is fun. Yes, 20 years later, I'm still enjoying myself. I still got a smile on my face pretty much every day. So it's she wasn't wrong. So I'm pretty it worked out well.
So how would you describe Taiwanese culture to a Westerner?
Oh boy. I mean it's so multifaceted. I mean, it's a friendly culture by and large, especially where people like me, like Westerners, foreigners who come here, it's quite welcoming. If they can help you out, they'll help you out. A lot of the culture is rooted in like the Buddhist and Taoist traditions that are thousands of years old, so they don't take those precepts lightly. Um, it's just um, it's just a chill, safe, um, beautiful place to be. Basically, is how I would break it down. Like how I would usually break it down is I would just say like you have to come and see it. You have to come and experience it. I could talk to you all day long about what it's like, but you're not going to know until you're on the ground. And once you are, you might be in danger of becoming like me and getting stuck here for 20 years. And I mean stuck in the most wonderful way possible. You just won't want to leave.
Yeah. How would you describe the metal scene there?
The metal scene is it's like a lot of places, in most say like big cities or anywhere you go around the world, like it's a small subset of the community at large, but it's a very dedicated, very passionate group of people that keep it running. It's always run by this group of lifers who get into it very young, and it's not like a phase. It's not something where they take off the black t-shirts and they laser off the tattoos once they get out of university. We can't quit for whatever reason. We're in it. We're in it for life. And there's a really solid group of people here who are lifers, who are in it forever, till death do us part. So there's a solid group of bands. There's always new bands coming up too. Young people picking up instruments, starting bands, getting inspired, joining the scene. It's a very welcoming scene. All you got to do is show up, rock up to a show, and people will start talking to you, asking what you play, asking what you're into, asking if you play the drums because everybody needs a drummer, just like any other scene in the world. Everybody's always trying to find the drummer who's in less than 10 bands at one time. Um, it's it's awesome. I mean, again, it's one of those things that you have to come and experience for yourself. But a lot of bands, like from around the world, international bands, there's still like a lot of bands that are coming here for the first time. And once they do, they're all going back to wherever they're from, like Europe, North America, Australia, wherever. And the vast bulk of them are saying like, hey, like if you're going to Japan or if you're going to Thailand, if you're going to Indonesia, you got to make sure you stop by Taipei, Taichung, Kaohsiung in Taiwan because they got something really cool going on there.
I understand you converted to Buddhism. Is that correct?
I did, yeah, about 4 years ago. Right about not exactly when the band started, but just a little bit after.
So, look, what is it? I realize it's a massive question, but I mean, in a nutshell, what does it mean to you? How does it help you make sense of the world?
Basically, to me, it's just a way of having a peaceful, harmonious relationship with myself. Um, I take any sort of faith as a personal matter. I don't infringe it upon anyone else. I don't use it as a lens in which to judge the actions or the way other people might choose to live their lives. up to them. And I'm down with Christians, I'm down with Muslims, I'm down with atheists, I'm down with Satanists. I got friends all across the spiritual spectrum. This is about me. This is about my relationship with me. And I spent a lot of years um, being something of a metal stereotype, live fast, die young, a lot of heavy drinking and other things. And that, if you want to say it worked for a while. It was fun um, for a number of years. But then you get into your 30s and it becomes maybe a little bit less enjoyable. The hangovers start hurting a little bit more and then a lot more, and they start lasting longer. They start becoming more introspective, and you start to maybe question why you're here and what your ultimate purpose is. So right about I turned 38 was when this band started. So I was no spring chicken anymore as far as metal is concerned. And I was looking for something different, both musically and I think whether I knew it or not, spiritually or philosophically. And those two things just seemed to coincide. So I took that as perhaps the universe putting something in my path for a reason, and that I'd better pay attention to it and take it seriously. So ever since then, it's become a vital part of my daily existence, and in keeping on a path wherein I can be the best version of myself, the happiest version of myself, and even beyond that, like a version of myself who enjoys being here, enjoys being alive, because for a while it was going the other direction where I wasn't enjoying being here. I wasn't enjoying who I was. I didn't like what I saw in the mirror when I woke up every day. Buddhism has been a way, not the only way, but one of the ways in which I've been able to do that.
I imagine it would have had a pretty profound impact on how you can create music, and how, alert and awake you are, and, in a healthier mindset.
Oh, definitely. I mean, one of kind of the wake up moments for me, because I used to be one of the guys, I'll have a few beers before a show, loosen up. And there was one show in particular, I thought it had gone well. I thought it had been just fine. And our drummer, this is another project, but the same drummer who is in Dharma now, Jack, he actually did me a big favor, although I didn't know it at the time. He had videoed the show, and he just said a couple days later, he said, "Watch this." He said, "Just watch it, beginning to end." I got about 2 minutes through it, and I was like, "No more." Like, that's message received. I was a wreck out there, and so was another guy in the band who was kind of my partner in crime. The things we thought were funny and that only lasted a couple of seconds dragged on for minutes on end, and it was not funny at all. It was to us, but not to anybody else. So yeah, in terms of Buddhism leading a sober lifestyle, which I have now for the past 4 years, 4 years in October, actually. Again, it's been instrumental, and it's brought the performances up to where, I feel much better than I did when I was in my 20s, and I'm now 42. I'm in better shape, much more clarity in terms of the mental aspect of it. So it's played a very crucial role in being able to still do this, and I think still do this to a decent level at an age when a lot of people might be starting to decline or starting to fall off a little bit. It's been able to grant me, I think, some longevity, I hope.
Yeah. Yeah, man, I'm 6 years in myself. And yeah, it's
Excellent.
does a lot for your work ethic and your hobbies. I mean, I would not have done this, music journalism or art or anything like that Before that, my hobby was drinking.
Yeah, I mean, no, that's the same here. I mean, you get to Friday and it's straight to the shop, pick up your supplies for the weekend, and then boom, weekend's gone. And you're back to Monday and you're in worse shape than you were the week before. You're just playing catch up
Yeah.
all the time, just constantly behind the eight ball. And it's amazing how much more you can get done when you just take that out of there. It's like, holy smokes, like I like look at all this extra time I have. Look at all this extra energy. It's wow. Like it's I don't preach to anybody. I'm like, okay, if it's something you enjoy, if it's something you feel you can get away with, if it's something where you're not harming yourself or others, okay, go for it. No judgment. But all I tell the people is that my life got 200% better without it, and I don't miss it.
I'm the
If you can
same
get,
boat.
yeah,
Yeah. Some
if you can
people,
get through those first few months, I think might be the hardest.
yeah.
But once you get through those, you're golden. You're laughing.
I try to tell people that first year seems to go forever because you're
Mm,
taking it in these little increments of, right, let's get to a month, right, let's get to 2 months.
yeah,
After that year, it starts flying. I
yeah, big
still
time, big time.
cannot believe it's been 6 years. But it's funny that, because I'm obviously quite vocal, because I used to be quite a wreck. And, some people complain, they're like, oh my God, everyone always comes out as gay to me. For me, it's every few months, someone will pop up in my DMs with, so how did you know you're an alcoholic? And I'm like, here we go.
Yeah,
I'm here to help. I'm just like, all
yeah,
right, here we go again. Yep.
yeah,
Bless. Um,
yeah.
Speaking of sober living, you're coming down for for a beer themed music festival,
Yes, yeah.
Froth and
No,
Fury.
no contradictions there.
What impressions do you have of Australia?
You know, most of what I know of Australia, I learned from The Simpsons, so not a lot. There's that one episode, like Bart versus Australia.
Hmm.
Um, so I've got probably not a very accurate picture at all of Australia.
Oh,
I've
you
got
do. It's
a
entirely accurate. Yeah.
do the do the toilets actually flush the other way? Is that accurate? Is that
Yes, it's
like
true. And
okay?
the boot is actually an acceptable form of punishment. So
Okay, the boot
so
is
behave yourself.
okay. Do the circle pits go the other way?
Yeah, you know what? I did ask that. I'm curious because I asked someone, like, what's your favorite orientation of circle pit? Clockwise or counterclockwise? And he thought for a second. He's like, clockwise.
No, I've actually like I've over the years, I've gotten to play with or get to know like a lot of Australian bands, and they're always like all of them have been like musically just top notch that I've gotten to share the stage with, and they're all just like down there you guys say bloke. It's like a guy. It's like it's like a humble kind of hard working guy who maybe likes a couple of beers here and there, but they don't get too high on themselves. Like they don't, it's like it's almost like it's against the law for you guys to brag or to boast about yourselves. It
Yeah,
seems like
yeah,
you just
yeah,
go out there and do the thing and do it well, and you come off stage and you're like, oh yeah, that was all right. Like they blow the crowd away and they're like, ah, that wasn't bad. And no, I mean super friendly. Um, I've had nothing but good impressions, and I'm sure this will only shore up those those positive impressions of it. I've always wanted to get down there for music. I mean, it's just so far away. It's not it's not a cheap expedition to get there from here. But finally, like this particular opportunity came up. I'm stoked that it's Froth and Fury because we know Jason a little bit. Like he's been up here with his bands before, kept in touch over the years, and finally this came about. I mean, he's done such an amazing job with building this thing up to the point where it's international headliners from all over the place, thousands of people showing up. And I know, like, from having promoted like small scale shows myself, like how many headaches go into this, like how many emails and phone calls and last minute changes, and just the thankless nature. of running any sort of musical event where everybody's complaining, like you announce a show and it's like, oh, it's not 5 minutes from my house on the day of my choosing, so what the hell, like
Yeah.
but so no, I'm just stoked to get down there. Like uh I'm gonna try and sleep as little as possible while I'm there. I'm just gonna play the shows. I want to talk to everybody while I'm down there. I want to meet everybody, say hello, shake hands, have a chat, talk music, talk life. I'm just yeah, I'm it's like 4 weeks out and I'm just like a kid on Christmas Eve already.
So, slightly random question. Did you have any pushback from members of the Buddhist community when you started combining Buddhism with metal?
We were really careful about it at first. Like we wrote demos of our songs that would wind up on the first EP. So it was three songs that we wrote beforehand. And then Jack, our drummer, who this band is his whole concept, his whole idea. He actually went around to a whole bunch of different organizations and temples, and he went to the authorities, they're high-ranking members of the Buddhist community, and he kind of gave them basically like a PowerPoint presentation on death metal, and he showed them like this is Cannibal Corpse, this is what they're talking about, this is the style, and this is also what they're doing lyrically. So we want to take that musical style and take Buddhist sutras and mantras and put those to this musical style. Like we're not going to be, it's not going to be blood and guts and gore and all of that, but we're going to take the sutras and we're going to put it to this style of music. And pretty much across the board, they were cool with it. Not at all what we were expecting. We were expecting at least some like hesitation. And some of them were a little bit concerned, but they weren't against us doing it.
Mm.
They were kind of like, okay, let's take a wait and see on this and see how it goes. But generally speaking, of course, you can't apply this to every Buddhist everywhere, but it's a fairly open-minded philosophy. If you like within the Heart Sutra itself, it says, uh, loosely translated, that you can sing the praises of the Buddha in many ways. So you can interpret that to say like you can do this in many different styles. It doesn't always have to be one certain way. And I think the members of the Buddhist community have taken this to heart. So we'll get everyone from, completely secular metalheads coming out to our shows to sometimes we'll see monks and nuns attending there, in their traditional garb and their robes. So in terms of pushback, if there is any out there, we haven't heard it yet. I'm sure if there was, we would. You do read the odd comment here because we've gotten some international press. And although I do try to stay out of the comment section as much as humanly possible, there's just that part of me that can't resist. Okay, I just have to check. I have to see what's going on. What do people think of me or us and our music? And once in an odd while, you'll see some random person will comment something like, "Oh, this is not Buddhism." But thankfully, the people whose opinions actually matter to us have been supportive of us. So that's good enough for us.
I like it. Mate, thank you very much for your time today. I'm really looking forward to, I hope the show goes fantastic. And yeah, man, enjoy Australia.
Thanks very much, man. If you need anything else from me, just say the word. And
Easy.
no worries.
No worries, man. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Cheers. You too.